can take off your spacesuit in Earth.
You can take off your spacesuit on Earth. Hi everybody, it's Chrissy from Knittin in the Heights. Gabe and I are heading out on an adventure to downtown. And when I mean downtown, I mean really downtown this time.
Outside, another yellow moon has punched a hole in the nighttime mist. I climb through the window and down to the street. I'm shining like a new dime. The downtown trains are full of all them Brooklyn girls. They try so hard to break out of their little world. You wave your hands and they scatter like crows. They have nothing that'll ever capture your heart. They're just thorns without the rose. Be careful of them in the dark. Oh, if I was the one you chose to be your only one. Can't you hear me now? Can't you hear me now? Will I see you tonight on a downtown train? Every night it's just the same on a downtown train. I know your window, I know it's late. I know your stairs and your doorway. I walk down your street and past your gate.
Our first haunted site of the day is New York City Hall. This building is haunted, and there is a maintenance worker that quit because she's unable to fix the elevators that kept causing problems at midnight. Police officers and cleaning crews over the years have reported seeing ghosts in 19th century clothing in the basement. Located at 52 Chambers Street, just behind New York City Hall, is Tweed Courthouse. This is also known as Old New York County Courthouse. It is named after political leader William M. Boss Tweed, who was a corrupt politician. This courthouse was originally constructed from 1861 to 1872. Boss Tweed was a politician most notable for being the boss of Tammany Hall, the Democratic political party machine that played an immense role in 19th century New York. Some of his crimes include falsified claims against business owners and bribes. He was eventually charged and arrested for his crimes. Ultimately, he remained incarcerated for the rest of his life, and he died in prison from pneumonia. His spirit is seen in the building, taking the stand, just like he did so many years ago.
That she's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her hand. Acts like summer and walks like rain, reminds you that there's time to change. Since her return from a stay on the moon, she listens like spring and she talks like June. Tell me, just sit across the sun. Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights
it's all fading and heaven is overrated. And tell me, did you fall from a shooting star? Why without a brother in the sky? Did you miss me while you were looking for yourself?
St. Paul's Chapel, an Episcopal church located at 209 Broadway and located directly across the street from Freedom Towers and across the street from what was World Trade Centers 1 and 2, was built in 1764 and is the oldest standing church in Manhattan. It is the burial site of the British actor George Frederick Cook. Cook died in 1812 and donated his head to science. Visitors have reported seeing his ghost appear, searching the grounds for his missing head. His skull may have also been used as a prop in a production of Shakespeare's Hamlet.
Today we're going to the Oculus, the future place.
The Oculus, which is right by World Trade Center 1, which is built basically right next to where the World Trade Centers fell.
They built this.
So it's a huge mall that looks like a spaceship.
Completely fixed.
So there is no Shake Shack, at least that we can find in the Oculus anymore. There might have been one at one point, but it doesn't look like it exists anymore. Anyway, so where are we going for lunch, Gabe?
Burger King.
There's Burger King right across the street. And there's so many other good food options.
Burger cheese, burger cheese, burger cheese, burger cheese.
But he won't eat it. Trinity Church near Wall Street on Broadway in the financial district was built in 1698. The current building dates from the 1830s. It is estimated that 120,000 bodies have been buried in Trinity Church's small graveyard. This is an incredible number of bodies to be buried in a small space. Some of the bodies originally were only buried 18 inches below the surface. So what ended up happening was the sexton would go around with a spade testing the earth to see where it was soft so that he could add more graves on top of those already buried. It is reported that there is phantom laughter that has been heard in the graveyard near the tombstone of Adam Allen, who was a comedian who died in 1768. Robert Fulton, who is buried here and the inventor of the first steam-powered warship, has been seen wandering around with the model of his steamboat. Captain Kidd, a famous privateer, is also said to haunt the church.
I work all night, I work all day to pay the bills I have to pay. Ain't it sad? And still there never seems to be a single penny left for me. That's too bad, 'cause in my dreams I have a plan.
Directly across the street from the New York Stock Exchange is Federal Hall. This is where George Washington was inaugurated as the first president of the United States. However, this building has a significantly darker history. In 1736, this was a slave market. In fact, it was the second largest slave market in the British colonies. In 1741, there was a slave rebellion in this hall, and at that time it was called British City Hall. On the top floor was a jail, and in the basement a dungeon. More than 100 men were captured and imprisoned in the dungeon and kept for an entire hot summer there. Many of them were killed without warrant. This dark history is sure to have left its traces on this building. Fraunces Tavern is Manhattan's oldest watering hole. It was originally built as a house in 1719 and eventually became a tavern. The building has been through many different events. One historical event was in 1783, George Washington bid farewell to his troops. He said to them, "With a heart full of love and gratitude, I now take leave of you. I most devoutly wish that your latter days may be as prosperous and happy as your former ones have been glorious and honorable." The building has also been bombed twice. First in 1775, when the British Navy ship Asia fired into the city from the East River. It created a hole in the roof. The second bombing was 200 years later in 1975, when it was bombed by a Puerto Rican terrorist organization called FALN. There was also a murder-suicide in the building in the 1700s when a man stabbed his wife because she was having an affair. He then killed himself. All of the trauma associated with this building seems to have left an imprint on it. The employees report mysterious footsteps, the sound of keys, and paranormal investigators have collected evidence as well.